The big news in Portland real estate this week is that mortgage rates dropped below the 6% mark for the 30-year fixed. Every time that's happened over the past couple of years, our market has gotten a nice jolt of activity. If these rates do hold, this could turn into an interesting fall and winter market for the metro area. Let's take a look at the very latest in stats and trends for Portland residential real estate. Hi everyone, RRMilligan here, bringing you the very latest in our local real estate stats and trends. As always, the market sample that I'm working with is for the full Portland metro area, including Southwest Washington. The average sale price was up from last year at this time by about 1.6%. Of course, we can see lots of ups and downs in our week-to-week numbers due to the relatively small sample size that we're working with. If we do take a step back and look at the bigger picture, the average sale prices so far in October, the average is up only 1.2% compared to the same time frame in 2024. It's not much, but that is coming off of 3 months when the average has been in the red, just barely, but in negative territory all the same. So on to supply. The supply of homes for buyers to purchase did bump back up after that pretty decent drop in inventory the previous week. You can see that here in this graph. We did see an increase in the number of homes that hit the market this past week, which is probably partly responsible for the bump in homes on the active market. On the demand side of the equation, the number of new purchase contracts agreed to by buyers and sellers was down about 3% from the previous week. That's not unexpected for this time of year. Looking at the most recent numbers we have for lockbox opens, which is one of our indicators of high intent buyers out looking at homes with their agents, that number was pretty much on par with what we were seeing last year at this time. It was only up about 1.4%. One thing to bear in mind is that last year at this time, mortgage rates were on the rise and continue to rise throughout the balance of the year. This year, however, they seem to be inching down. So if that dynamic holds, we should probably start to see more buyer demand compared to last year as we move through our fall and winter markets. That leads us straight into our big story for the week, mortgage rates. On Wednesday and Thursday of this week, I was seeing rates below 6% for the 30-year fixed. I saw one local lender advertising the 30-year best case scenario at 5.875%, and that was with less than a half a discount point and an APR of just under 6%. That's great news for both buyers and sellers, but even better than that was that the bond market was moving down on Thursday, indicating that mortgage rates might improve even a bit more before we head into the weekend. As I mentioned at the top of the video, every time that rates have dropped below that 6% mark for a period of time over the last couple of years, that's injected a jolt of buyer activity into our market. So hopefully these rates will hold and we'll get to see if that still holds true over the next couple of weeks. Looking forward, the Fed is meeting on the 28th and 29th of this month. That's the week after next. Currently, the markets are anticipating another quarter-point rate cut. With the continued government shutdown, we're still on an information blackout from the government. We still don't have the September jobs report or the CPI numbers for September, but we may get that CPI or that inflation report for September by the end of next week. We'll see. So that's all I have for you this week. All that's left to do is sum up the biggest trends that we're following. Sale prices were up, supply was also up. Both demand and mortgage rates were down. Thank you so much for joining me again. Please consider giving this video a like or even hit the subscribe button if you'd like to see more reports like this one in your feed. Otherwise, have a fantastic weekend and I will see you right here next week.